Good evening, everybody. Yes, today's topic is a very vibrant and very flagrant topic, actually. Data breaches, facts, and impacts. Hope you are seeing my screen now. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, we are able to.
Okay. So today we will discuss. A lot of people know about data breaches and discuss it, but there are certain facts which many might knowing it. Okay, not knowing it. So I just try to compile a presentation in a way that it gives you the whole lot of awareness and knowledge about the subject topic we are discussing here, and then. Maybe because I'm going to share this presentation, it will give you everything in a one powerful power presentation, and then it will help you at many points. Wherever you look for any data, you go to this presentation, you will get it. Okay. So without taking much time at all, okay, I'm just starting straight away, and it may take a bit longer time. Okay, sometime. Okay, so don't feel wherever you feel that it's taking a longer time. Just raise your hand, and then I will just speed up. I will try speed because a lot of information is there. The topic is such that if I start speaking on it, I can speak for a whole day. But to contain this within this short span of 45 or 50 minutes would be difficult, but still will try my best to contain with it time within that time limit. And so here we go. My PowerPoint is not moving ahead. Yes, it has moved. Right. Are you seeing the second slide?
Yes.
Yes. So this is a steps we are going to discuss in this presentation. One is the data breaches history and definition, because so many people don't know how actually concept of a virus or data cyber threat started, and what is a data breach, and then what is a cyber security breach and a security incident. So we will discuss those things into it. And then there are some staggering statistics about data breaches, which will be a quite, I feel that this should be serve as a purpose of eye opener for everybody. And then next is the cost impact of all these data breach, and how world is suffering, how organizations are suffering as on today. And then finally, the care and solutions. We will discuss how to take care of all these breaches, and what are the solutions available, and how to save yourself from the data breaches. Not in detail, but yes, in few broader pointers. History of cyber threats. Let's start. Okay with this. Okay, do you think how many would not be knowing that the virus was the first menace as a cyber threat to the organization and computers, and it started. The concept was initiated and started by Newman in late 1940s, and then finally he published a paper in 1966 about what is virus, and what he called this virus is a different terminology. Okay, if I say the theory of self-reproducing automata. Okay, and means a computer program which can replicate itself automatically like a normal virus, biological virus. So it's a very old concept, and yes, definitely it took a lot of time, about 30-40 years, in coming to effect at all, actually. And then next is this Creeper program. Okay, that was the first virus in 1970 by Bob Thomas of BBN, and Creeper was actually designed as a security test, not a virus at all. Okay, and didn't harm at all. and it was just circulated or intruded into the systems with a message, simple message: "I am the creeper. Catch me if you can." The rabbit virus. Next is the rabbit virus. Rabbit virus was considered, designed, and spread in way back in 1974. Okay, and as per the information of info carnivore, it did have malicious intent actually. Okay, it is used to duplicate itself. Okay, once in a computer, it made multiple copies of itself, severely reducing the performance of the system. Okay, and then system or servers used to crash down. So that was the first deadly or destructing virus, rabbit virus, and say 1974. Then the brain boot sector virus. It was okay. Again, you know that it was developed by two Pakistanis, Basif and Amjad Farooq Alvi. Okay, but they used to sell their software on floppy drives. Okay, you know the floppy 5.2-inch floppy disk in 1986, and then people used to copy these, and then he was hurting in terms of business. So he created a program, okay, which used to affect the boot sector of the floppies, other floppies, the floppy which they are using, and then they could not use their floppies, and they could can say correct these only after running a program later. So that was a way to save their software selling, and they developed this in a program. And next was in 90, just a minute. Yes, next was in I think 1991 and 1993 also. A program came up again, and which infected can say more than 20,000 computers. Okay, but yes, it also you can say used to can say affect their boot sector of their storage devices, and it used to write 0 0 0 0s everywhere, and then build it with that message, and thereby stopping the system to work. And in 1998, CIH was released. Okay, and infected. It infected 60 million. That was the first major virus which infected in that the quantum was so high, 60 million computers, and caused significant damage by overwriting important system files. It was written by a Taiwanese student. Okay, and then 99 and Melissa, we all know that Melissa was a very popular virus. Popular in the sense that it was widely distributed, and it was a concept first word microvirus. It used to be attached with a word file, and it used to circulated via emails, because that was the only internet was not so heavily used that time. It was just started in the commercial business and normal business purposes. So it was the mail system which was used to circulate it. And whenever this your system is infected, it will immediately send a mail from your Outlook system, catching up first 550 Outlook address, people from your address book, and then again when they open it, that they get infected. So that was a chain of infection by this Melissa. And in year 2000, the I love you virus was very prevalent. I also faced it in my organization, but fortunately only a few people were infected, and then we immediately caught it. So that was a more devastating, because it used to send to everyone in your address space, while Melissa was sending only to first 50 people in your mail address book. It used to send everybody in your around everyone in your address book. So and it is quickly infected 50 million computers in less than 10 days. Okay, that was a high level and multiplication effect of this virus. most companies back then decided to turn off their email servers to stop spreading the virus. Okay, but once it is in your system, you have 500 mail contact mail users, and they in turn they have hundreds of mail contacts, and it has a very huge multiplication effect, and then it plays really great havoc across the world. And finally, the code red virus, it was the first virus, fileless. Again, while others were the file virus written in a file, it was a fileless worm, okay, which used to travel into your network and then a mail system via, you can say, some direct code, and it used to reside in the memory of the system. But I think it was not infecting any file, but it was because it was also a first fileless worm, so it was just a test program to test it. And later on, yes, so many things came up, and then people got hurted. On the left corner, you will find types of computer viruses. You can see it later on, because if I start explaining them, it will take a lot of time. So, but I have written it for your knowledge purpose. Whenever you look at it, you have what kind of viruses we. I have to just. I think some. So I'm coming to data breaches now. Okay. So what is data breaches? How it is evolved? Okay. First, if I say the earliest data breach was identified way back in 1984. And it was TRW Information Systems in US, where they were informed that the password of one of their database had been stolen and posted online on electronic bulletin board, exposing the personal data and credit history of 90 million Americans. And that was the first one such data breach. And earlier, internet was in 80s. Internet was not popular at all. Okay, it was not in even in infant stage. It was in a testing stage only. So they used to use electronic bulletin board, means a network of their own, and few other nearby organizations, and they used to create a bulletin board of their own and post their news and post over there and share it. So that was the way to share, not internet at all. And but yes, historically, most sources cite said 2005 as the year that current era of frequent large-scale data breaches began. It was the first year where we saw 136 breaches, data breaches, which were reported that year, and which included George Mason University, where names, pictures, and social security numbers of 32,000 and staffs were stolen. And DSW Designer Shoe Warehouse, 1.4 million credit card numbers were stolen, and Card System Solution, 40 million credit card numbers, among others, were stolen. So 2005 can be termed as the start of the major data breaches. And 2005 was also the year where the hacker Albert Gonzalez masterminded a breach of retail giant TJX companies, where 45.6 million credit card numbers were stolen from one of its over a period, its system over a period of 18 months, culminating in 2007. So here I would like to highlight that no data breach happens in a day or two. It takes a very long time, and general data breach, it comes into the notice of the people. The number of days revolves around from 186 to 45 days. And only after these many days, we realize that there's a data breach happened in our organization or in systems, and then we take care of it. It has a reason. I will tell you further why it takes so much of time. And it was in 2007, Gonzalez launched Operation Get Rich or Die Trying. Another set of data breach that targeted Heartland payment system, 130 million credit cards numbers, Hannaford Brothers, 4.2 million credit card, another organization. So if I say the modern, can say founder or you can say innovator of data breaches was this gentleman called Gonzalez, okay, Albert Gonzalez. And the big one, major data started, continue to make headlines into 2010s. Okay, sorry. And media outlets all over the world were throwing around the label the largest of the day. See, frequency became very, very high, and each day or can say alternative, you will hear about a data breach, 1 or 2 data breaches, and then each was labeled as the largest till date. That was a can say severity of all those data breaches. And in 2013, the new form of ransomware started. Okay, now until now it was a malware and malicious code and virus which were hurting everybody. Okay, and then causing that data losses. But the new term coined, okay, called ransomware in 2013, first time, and that the virus which was which used to can say bring down your systems and display masses. It's a ransomware or the crypto locker. There have been many new versions of this virus, including Locky and WannaCry, as well as Petya, not the latest version. Latest version is a different name, though Petya name is still there. The original crypto locker virus infected about 500,000 computers in original version. 500,000. It's a huge number that time, and some of these clones such as Toronto Locker and CryptoWall were specifically designed to target computers in Australia. So these variants, there were many variants of it, and they were specifically targeting countries, nations, or even the regions, continents also. In September 2016, and here comes the biggest data breach, which is Yahoo. Okay, and in 2016, Yahoo disclosed that a data breach had taken place sometime in late in 2014. Please note the time difference time. It started in 2014, and Yahoo disclosed it in 2016 because they were not knowing something is brewing up, and that has done a severe damage and a data breach in their systems. And 500 million user accounts, 500 million user accounts, including account name, email address, telephone numbers, date of birth, hash password, everything, and encrypted or unencrypted security questions and answers had been compromised. In 2017, we have virus attack which is spread very fast. Okay, WannaCry, not Petya. Not Petya is the original was Petya. Not Petya was even the more serious one. Okay, it was a variant of Petya only. Okay, but it was a more serious one. Both of these viruses use a security hole within the protocol windows used to access file over the network. Okay, which is called SMB. Some terms are there which I'm using. If I start explaining them, that will be take a lot of time. So I'm for the timing just writing it and then saying it and moving ahead. Okay. So this security hole named Eternal Blue. Okay, and was made public by a hacker group called Shadow Brokers, who stole it from the U.S. National Security Agency (NSA). Please note, U.S. National Security Agency (NSA). And I forgot to tell you, in early 90s, around 94, 95, and there was an incident of hackers entering into Pentagon systems. And those hackers were nobody else but 4 or 5 students from the age group of around 12 to 15 years. And they entered into Pentagon. They were arrested by the Pentagon, but they later on they were released. okay, taking care of their race, and because they didn't have any malicious intention, but still they entered. That was one story came into my mind. I thought I must share with you. And 2, 3 of those can say children got placement later on into the big companies because of their that innovation. Even now I can say this NASA and Pentagon employed them with them later on. And the then again coming to the point, coming back to the point, Microsoft, because of these were creating very and using Microsoft loopholes into their Windows network protocols, etc. So Microsoft later released this patch, okay, and March 2017, and but by that time, I think. The number of systems it affected were really huge at all, especially those who were not using current Windows or obsolete Windows and not having the patches at all. So they have to develop a special patch for those obsolete systems as well, which were unsupported by Microsoft. Okay. So WannaCry infected around 2 lakh computers across 150 countries before the kill switch. That was the patch which developed, discovered and stopped the virus from spreading further. Okay, while our virus and malware were used to either block or data uses or destroy the same, but these later evolved into data breaches and theft gradually. Malware and ransomware led it from the front in creating havoc across the world. Okay, malware and ransomware are the malicious codes, and they lead the bucket of data breach concept regions. Now coming about data breaches. What is a data breach? Let me just, because we talk about it a lot of things, and there are so many things in cybersecurity terms. Data breach is an incident where information is stolen or taken from a system without the knowledge of authorization of the system's owner or computer's owner. Okay. Technically, there is a distinction between security breach and a data breach. In a data breach, person has entered into your system, has stolen the data. But in a security breach, it has entered into system but didn't steal your data, but it was able to enter your systems. And there is another term called security incident. And incident is a thing, okay, where somebody try intruding into your systems but could not. He is desperately trying, and time and again he is trying. That is a security incident, and he tried to or did some concept tried changing your port concept configurations or something like that, but was not able to do any harm at all. So incident, security breach, and data breach. These three things are entirely different. But yes, incident is the lowest severity. No harm at all. Even data security breach is a severity, next level of severity. It did break into your system. So that is a biggest concern. If he has break into, he will harm you also. So security breach is the reason where you have to take immediate action to stop the data breach. Okay, and now coming to that, coming to back to data breach, stolen data may involve sensitive, personal, proprietary, confidential. You all know credit data, credit card data, customer data, health records, trade secrets, payment card in the PCIs, personal health, PHIs information, and personally identifiable information, PIIs, which are definitely this very important, and these are the largest kind of data being stolen by the these data because of these data breaches. A small company or a large organization or an individual may suffer a data breach. Okay, even I can suffer it, but I'm not Bill Gates, or I'm not Ratan Tata, or anybody such a prominent person, or Narendra Modi. So I may be can say skipped by the, but they definitely can say focus on these kind of personalities to break into their data. Now, this is how data breach happens. Okay, so data breach doesn't happen in a day. Okay, let me tell you, sir, it takes a long time, very long time. Okay, and how it happens? There are reasons, and we should know all those reasons. It could be the insider leaks, a trusted individual or person of authority with access privilege, it steals the data. Or it can be a disgruntled employee, okay, who before leaving your organization or stealthily steal your data and sell it to outsiders. Payment card, anything else, please, when it comes to the security, anything can happen, so we should take it seriously, okay. Payment card, I will tell you insider leak. I will tell you one incident here. It is important. I will take 2 minutes. A very senior person was leaving our organization. He was given a laptop, and when he gave us his laptop back, he forgot to remove his mail password. And when he came for can say formatting or reinitialization for the use by others, we generally format it and give it to some others people. So accidentally, one of my guy, okay, he just clicked on here the mail to say mail he was using. I think Yahoo or something he was using. So he found suddenly the lot of attachments, heavy attachments with his mails were there, which were sent from the official mail ID. And he found 75 such mails, and each of them having attachments, some drawings and all those kind of things. And he immediately some Excel files, okay, critical Excel files about a project to be started by the company, okay, in can say collaboration with the US company. And he was quite surprised to see those mails, and he immediately showed to me. And I took it with the chairman, and
I cannot hear Mr. Arya. You are on mute right now.
hello, what was the last point?
Now we can hear you.
What was the last point I was telling?
So you were telling about the insider leak. Just a few seconds we missed. Just 10-20 seconds.
Okay. Insider links. Okay, I was telling about an incident.
Yeah, what happened after you brought it up to your management? That was very shocking.
Yes. You sorry. So he just told me that there is no problem, Aryaji. Let us not make it a big issue at all. We know that he has done a grave mistake, and then it's not mistake rather. It's a grace crime actually. But let's, because being senior and he was around the age of 59 or 60 that time. So he just said, "Okay, boss, you delete those mails from there," and we deleted it. And these were having sensitive contents, okay, about a project. So we deleted all those mails. Incidentally, I'm telling you, later on we had to put up a data loss prevention system in the organization, which helped us immensely, okay, especially on those employees which were leaving. And we found that before leaving, most of the employees were sending information to their personal mail ID from their official mail IDs, attachments and all those things. So whenever we used to find somebody sending mails attachments from his person, official mail ID, we thought he's going to resign. So that was the practice. That software helped us a lot. Okay, coming to that payment card fraud. Payment card data is stolen using physical skimming devices. Okay, like in, if you see from ATM, okay, ATM people fix can say some skimming device into it, and then when you can say insert your ATM card, then it record your sensitive information. PIN, etc., and then they use it later. Loss or theft, portable device. Okay, but your data can be lost via your portable drives, also laptops. Okay, your tablets, your office computers. Okay, and then files, mobiles, and other physical properties are lost or stolen. Okay, so you see that lost a lot of laptops are stolen from your cars. Okay, so these are sent to people expert into these laptop refurbishing. They change your these hard drives, and then original hard drive is kept by them to search for the data if there's some good data available in that. So if you lose your laptop, rest assured somebody is taking care of your hard disk and putting another new hard disk there. And unintended disclosures, though through mistakes or negligence, sensitive data is exposed accidentally. Okay, you keep your password loose and then accidentally you lose your data. Okay, unknown reason, there are some unknown reason also in a small number of cases. Actual breaches method is unknown or undisclosed. Okay, sometimes you try your best, but you really do not know how your data has been stolen or how there's an incident or breach or a data breach has happened. On the left side, I have given some can say infographic. Okay, which is explaining the kind of can say the reason of the data loss are defined over there. So hacking and malware 25%, on portable devices lost 24%, unintended disclosures 70.4%, insider leak and 12%, physical loss 11.4%, stationary device loss, and payment and card frauds and unknown reasons. These are the ratio of there. Okay, and a little definition of the ransomware. You can read it later because of there are a lot of things and which I should not leave. Okay. It's not moving. Move. Are you seeing the next screen, please?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So again, that topic continued. Okay, and how this data breach happens actually. Okay, in way. So before coming to your system, the hackers do or attackers do a very long and detailed research about your organization, about your website, about loopholes they can get from your organization, and they keep on they have the softwares and tools which keep on poking into various portals and IP numbers, and whenever they find some loopholes, they stop there and they try entering there, and then enter into your system and do a lot of analysis before they do complete analysis of data, which is the harmful data over which is the sensitive data, which is not, which is the server has the database, which are the computers have a lot of Excel files and complex Excel files on those systems. So they do complete detailed analysis and they attack those systems, and they try to find a system on your network within your organization, which is a very least used system. Okay, so that they put their programs over there. Okay, in a nested folders at the third or fourth level, and where you just never think, boss, yahan pe bhi kuch ho raha hoga. So they put off their software codes, malicious code over there. They analyze your complete network, and then they take a lot of them. Once they have identified your weakness and research all of your systems, they make network-based attacks or social attacks, and then enter into the systems. Okay, and then they once attack happens, they remain there. They don't do anything at all. They sleep there for some time, because you should not have a doubt if something has happened into your system. They sleep there and they just gradually take out small files, important files, and identify all those things, and in a laser time. Okay, for example, India is having most of the time, okay, I can say servers or some systems are open 24/7, and some systems are from 9 to 8. So they find most of the time those systems which are 24/7 available for them. Or okay, for example, some system in your system which is runs in this shifts. So A shift, B shift, C shift, and 24 hours it is on. So they find those kind of systems where they can spend more time. Okay, but although they spend can say do something during the daytime also, but they do most of the work sitting there on those systems. Exfiltrate. Then once inside the network, the attacker is free to extract data from your company's network. This data may be used for either blackmail or cyber propaganda or ransomware, whatever it is. Okay, the intent is not good, frankly speaking, and they harm you. Okay, the information an attacker collects can also be used to execute more damaging attacks on the target's infrastructure. Okay, so as I told you, they take time. They take time to understand the whole network, identify the critical infrastructure in your organization, and put malicious code over there so that you are harmed, or they get stopped. Either they steal the data or put the systems on hold till they are paid for some heavy amount they are wanting. On left side, there's some infographics are there, 5 stages of ransomware attacks. Okay, complete installation. This is reconnaissance and then infiltration, damage, and ransom. This is the way. And then breach occurs is the research, stage, attack, exfiltrate are the 3 stages they use. And sometime next. These were these all things were about the data breaches by now. Cyber threats, data breaches. It started from the virus, evolution of the virus. It evolved into the cyber threats. It evolved then further into the ransomware or data breaches, data threats, and it has grown up to a staggering level, and that level is very huge. And there are some interesting statistics I'm going to share with you all here actually. Okay, see why it is happening. It is happening because the explosion. I think the explosion in nuclear explosion in Nagasaki and Hiroshima were much lesser than this. The explosion of data is happening after 2005, and that in 2000, if you see this slide, in 2009 we had 0.79 zettabyte. Okay, what is zettabyte? In the left lowest corner, there is a terms defined what is zettabyte. Zettabyte is the largest at present, the largest unit of measuring the data, and gigabyte is the lowest one I have defined here, because megabyte is no more at all. Okay, megabyte is very small, and the kilobyte, megabyte is very small. And let me tell you, when I started my career way back in 1983, I used a computer with the 64 KB RAM, KB, please understand, KB RAM, and 200 KB 2 floppy drives, and we used to compute payroll of the organization, financial accounting system, store system, and there's a tunnel controlling system, and one more system was there, plant maintenance system. The 5 systems we used to maintain those small tiny computers with such a small or insignificant capacity of the computers. And today KB is no more. Nobody considered KB at all. Even we do not consider MB. It's a gigabyte. It starts with the gigabyte. So gigabyte is 1024 megabyte, and then again the gigabyte is there, 1024 megabyte, and 1024 gigabyte is 1024 against 1 terabyte, and 1024 terabyte is the petabyte, and then 1024 petabyte is the exabyte, and 1024 exabyte is zettabyte. It's a huge. If you start computing, computing, it's a very big number. And in 2010, we just generated. That was the explosion of the information generation, 0.79 zettabyte data. And by 2005, we reached it 8.69 zettabyte data. Okay. And this colors coding defines the light color is the overall data, the dark blue is the data which is enterprise managed data. Okay, the cloud came into the picture after by the year of 2000. 2011 onward. So they were managing a lot of data, and then enterprise generated data is the yellow one. Okay, and by 2020, the total data we are generating is 35 zettabyte. Huge quantum jump, and this cloud or enterprise managed data is 28 28 zettabyte, and 10.5 zettabyte is something with this enterprise created data. So if you see from 2009 to 2020, the data has grown up 44 times. Such is the explosion and growth of the data as on to date. And that's the reason of data breaches. And because we have opened up the gate of internet and everything happens, people are connected, widely connected, more and more devices are connected. Mobiles are more than laptops and desktops. Earlier, desktop and laptops were connected with the internet, were higher in numbers. Now mobiles are higher in the numbers. You will see in the next. This is the slide. If you see global digital growth, okay. If you see total population grew by 1%, okay, in 2 years, 20 to 21, okay, and then unique mobile phone users grew 1.8%. Internet users grew 7.3%, and active social media users grew up by 13.2%. You can understand the growth of sector active media, social media user, and it's not only social media user, but also the retail business users are also growing and adding to this kitty, and these are generating huge data actually. Okay. For example, the pictures, videos to lure, can say, their online customers being posted by, can say, online retailers, banks, and everybody. So more and more people are, you can say, connecting, and more the data is growing and it's being generated. So again, the next is the total population is, can say, we have 7.83 billion. Okay. And if you see that 56.4% urbanization factor is there, and unique mobile phone users is 5.2 billion. Okay, the 66.6% of the population, and internet users are 4.66 billion, the 59.5%, and 4.2 billions, okay, are the active social media user. These staggering statistics say that data growth is bound to happen in leaps and bounds, and it will grow up maybe on our next. We have to find out. I think soon, within 10 years, we have to find out next unit of zettabyte to measure it. And yes, next slide says share of web traffic by devices. Okay, now 55.7% is our, this is the December 2009 versus December 2020. It's 55.7, okay, and laptops 41.4%. Earlier, laptop and desktops were higher in number. Now, mobile phones have taken, can say, overridden this laptops and desktop numbers. The tablets are not very high, but yes, by 2.8%, and other devices, by gaming devices and all those kind of things, are 0.07%. And social media use around the world, if we say, as I said earlier, it's a 4.2 billion. Okay, and out of this, can say this comes as a 53.6% of the total population, and the annual change or annual CAGR growth is 13.2%. Okay, and total number of social media users accessing via mobile phones is 4.15 billion. And next one is just a minute, some is okay. Percentage of total social media user access via mobile is 98.8%. See, mobile is becoming more powerful than your PCs and computers. If I say the kind of computer I used in way back in 1983, which I said a few time back, it is acting 1 lakh times powerful, 1 lakh power, or we can say 10 lakh times powerful than that PC, and your mobile is that much powerful. Yes, now spendings are happening around ITs, but if you look at this, there's a special purpose of showing this slide, is that cybersecurity and risk management is a key concern around the world, and 36% of general revenue, can say IT spending, is being spent for cybersecurity and risk management. It's a huge percentage. If I see, you can assess from others. It has overtaken from ERP and CRM and HR in terms of the percentage. Part of Jonas 100 rupees, 36% is going to cybersecurity. Now, these are the 10 largest, okay, in terms of numbers, 10 largest data breaches in past 15, 12 years, okay. And Yahoo is the biggest. I will just not explain all the 10, but yes, initial 3 or 4, and rest you can read on later. And Yahoo was the largest one. Okay, it started in August 2013, but was rebuilt in 2016, as I said earlier. And 3 billion Yahoo accounts were exposed. Okay, and I think it was 500. Initially, it was declared 500. 5 billion, but later on they claimed it's 3 billion. Alibaba, okay, 1.1 billion pieces of user data was exposed in 2099. LinkedIn in 2021 recently exposed 700 billion users. Sina Weibo date March 2020 impacted 538 million accounts. Facebook in 2019 exposed 533 million users. Really a very high number actually, you see. And these are the next 5. You can read it later. It's a Marriott International, very famous case, if you all know. Adult Friend Finder, okay, and MySpace, NetEase, Port Ventures. Now coming to the most expensive breaches, 10 expensive breaches in the history of data breaches. Epsilon was the biggest one. It has an impact of $4 billion to the company. Okay, in terms of total overall cost, loss of reputation, brands, loss, and payment to various stakeholders and everything. They end up in losing, and loss of business, end up losing $4 billion by Epsilon. And Veteran Administration, it was a 500 million worth of data breach. It cost them that much. And Hannaford Bros, $252 million. And Sony PlayStation lost $171 million in their data breach. And the Target, 5th number, is 162 million. Okay. And next 5, you can see it later, but yes, TJ Maxx, okay, Heartland Payment, Anthem, Sony Picture Entertainment, the Home Depot, they lost up to some, can say, lowest was 56 million. these are some can say figures. If you see it, you can see it later. The latest from the 2017 to 2020, the major can say data breaches happen and the loss of records and data they lost during these breaches. Cost impact. Now coming to the cost impact of the data breach. This is something interesting. I will interest everyone. Okay, global cost of cybercrime. Please note the term cybercrime. It's not a data breach only. Other cybercrimes also is expected to peak at the $6 trillion per annum by end of 2021. Okay, by this end, and may go up to $10 trillion by end of 2025. Please remember, it's a total cybercrime gamut of it's stealing data or doing a lot of other nuisance. Okay, and that total bill comes to the in trillions. But ransomware attacks will be $20 billion by end of this 2021. Okay. And the worldwide information security market is forecast. Information security market means solution market is forecast to reach $170.4 billion in 2022. It's by report as per report by Gartner. And on the left side, if you say the country, the data loss, or you can say average cost of a data breach is in the United States. As per country wise, if we take it country wise, it is 8.64 millions average cost. Okay, and lowest is the Middle East, where it is $1.12 million average cost, and then India is somewhere at 14 point with $2.14 million average cost. Okay, many costs are not displayed or told by, you can say, sufferers. So these remains can say hidden, and but yes, this happens. And on the right side, there's a table I have given the industry-wise average cost of data breach. Healthcare has the highest cost, 7.13 million, and public sector public sector in the organization have the least cost is the $1.08 million. Okay, coming to some more interesting statistics, sir. Sorry. Oh, I have to move it to here or there. That $3.86 million average cost of breach overall. Overall, this is overall cost of average cost of the data breach happens in the world. US as a country has the highest cost. Healthcare as an industry has the highest cost. 286. Please note this. This is statistics, as I have been saying in the past past slides. 286 average days it takes to identify and contain the breach. Okay, before we come to know it, you can say hundreds of days have already passed, and a lot of damage already have been done. So that's why organization have to succumb to the demand of the ransomware most of the time. And 52% breaches caused by malicious attacks. Again, the virus, the ransomware, those are the malicious attacks. They are the biggest reason of data breaches. And 80% breaches with the customer PII. Personal identified information is the biggest reason. 80% breaches are with the customer PII losses. Now coming to the more interesting statistics. Okay, on the left side you see the type of records compromised. Okay, it is interested. You will be interested in knowing that customer PII 80%, as I said earlier. Intellectual property is the 32% next higher, and the anonymized customer data is 24% next higher. Other corporate data is 23%. Employee PII is a 21%. And average cost per record by type of data compromised is the customer PII $150. It is the highest it carries because these are the highest numbers of data being stolen, and it has carried the highest cost as well. Average per record is $150 per record, and the lowest is the employees PII $141 but it is between 140 to $150. And 7.13 millions, the average cost of average cost of data breach in the healthcare industry. Okay, an increase of 10% compared to the 2019. Okay, and 5.52 million average total cost of breach at enterprise, where employees are more than 25,000, and average cost of we can say data breach is $2.64 millions in the organization which have less than 500 employees. Some interesting facts are there. Oh, you should know all these. That's why I'm sharing with you. 80% share of the breaches that included records customer contain customer PI. Customer PI is the most attractive can say data for hackers and these ransomware catchers, attackers. Data breach average total cost is divided into 4 categories. Okay, lost of business 39.5%. Total, for example, if you are losing 100 rupees, so 39.49 is gone to loss of business cost, and detection and escalation cost is 28.8%, and notification is 6.29%, the lowest one, and the ex-post response, once it is and then you're responding to various stakeholders and then containing it is 25.6%. So it's the total cost breakup of how you spend on a data breach. And average total cost of data breach by organizational size, which I said earlier in one of my caption. So this is less than 500 and there is more than 2,500. And difference is really quite high if you see. And next slide is data breach root causes. Okay, let us understand what are the root causes. Okay, the major are 3, and human errors accounts for 23%, system glitches account for 25%, and malicious attacks, as I wrote earlier, it's a 52%. It's the highest one, and there is a upward trend in data breaches. If you see from 2014 till 2020, there's a study. There was a decline in 2014. But there's a studied increase in the malicious attacks, and sometime, okay, if you see the number of data breaches have gone down, but the cost of data breach has gone up really high. Okay, because they are attacking the critical and crucial data of the organization where they have to pay higher. So they are clever enough to get those kind of data. Next is breakdown of malicious data breaches, root cause by threat vector or reason, why it happens or how it happens. The social engineering, other compromising credentials, cloud misconfiguration, vulnerability, third-party software, phishing 14%, physical security compromise 10%, malicious insider, okay, 7%, other misconfiguration system error 6%, business 5%. This is how it is. And the annual number of data breaches and exposed records in United States. Same is the trend elsewhere as well. Okay, so I have taken this from the United States. Okay, from 2000 to 2050, there's a time it has gone down, but it has again come up, and it has gone down, but come up. But cost of data breaches is getting higher and higher, irrespective of numbers coming down. The cost of data breach is very, very high. This is a slide which tells about the key findings of a recent cost data breach report by IBM. And I will just, I'm going to end of the presentation soon. Lost business was the biggest contributor to data breach costs. Data breaches impacted organization for years. As I told, in Yahoo case, it started in 2013 August. It ended up in when Yahoo revealed it in 2016, 2 to 3 years. In other cases also it took 2 years. In 2005 when something has started growing up, that's a Gonzalez wala case, and then it took 2 years to create a more powerful attack on the same system. And the life cycle of a data breach is growing. Okay, and human error and system glitches, they are still cost millions. Human error, automation is the key to here. Okay, where as much as you automate, you can automate is a key here. Human error always a problem. It has been a problem. It will remain a problem. Malicious cyber attacks were most common expensive root cause of breaches, which is we saw in the past statistics. The small businesses are hit harder proportionately. If we can say $20 billion organization pay a ransom of around can say $500 million, and a $500 million pay a ransom of 20 million, it is proportionally much higher than the $20 business. So a smaller business are also being hit harder. Cloud migration, IT complexity, and third-party breaches were cost multipliers. Okay, because we are using more of the cloud, and IT complexity because of clouds, inside systems, third-party systems, integrations, APIs, all those creating multiple multiplying effects. And company encryption, business continuity management, DevSecOps is nothing but development, security operations. Okay, secured operations means when you are developing a software, you are taking care of the security during the development stage. So by the time you end up in the fully developed software, the security is built into it. So DevSecOps strategy is being used by the organization wherever software development is happening. And third-party breaches were this threat intelligence sharing were cost mitigators. They reduce the cost. Companies with incident response teams and extensive testing saved over 1.2 million. You have to have a response, there's a data breach response plan and data breach incident response teams and extensive testing and awareness programs, training program in your organization, which will definitely save a lot of money for you. Automation of security reduce costs. Okay, yes, as I told, human errors are still costing a lot. So automation is the key. It will definitely reduce the security cost. You can't monitor and secure anything and continuously monitor. Make software, AI-based software. There are ample of AI-based, artificial intelligence-based security softwares are coming up recently, which you can install and deploy, and then they continuously 24 into monitor and report it to you. Any untoward incident is being reported by them. Region and industry impact cost. Okay, and the odds of data breach are increasing. Please understand odds. What are the odds? The increased use of retail shopping, increased use of integration, increased use of banks and the financial stock exchange. Millions of, if you have read the recent report, CDSL and BSE Limited have added crores of stock traders or investors in their system. So these things are adding to the woes of data breaches.
Mr. Arya, I just want to highlight one thing. Like you mentioned in the beginning, it's an extensive topic to cover. So we're not left with time to, for the Q&A.
I'm just ending it within 4 or 5 slides. Yes. I will be ending.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to say, like you, assured us earlier, do share the presentation.
Yes. Don't worry.
Yes.
That's why I had this in mind, because this is a very huge topic and can't be covered in a day on 45 minutes at all. So, okay, there are some statistics about this. Okay,
sure.
You can read it. 64% increase in ransomware attacks in last 1 year. Okay, and supply chain companies are new targets. Okay, infra, travel, BFSI, these industries are the most targeted. Okay, good negotiators save up to 50% in ransomware. Average ransom demand 10 millions and 18% greater than less than 10 million and 30% greater than 30 million. This I'm not going to read. Okay, but it's a very important slide. You read it later. It's a very good. It contains a very good information. Okay. Okay, how you lose data into with a data breach? Revenue losses, damage to brand reputation, loss of intellectual property, hidden costs, legal fees, data recovery, PR, investigation, notification cost. Online vandalism. Online vandalism is when somebody hacked into your portal.
ಯೂಸ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಹಂಗ ಆಗ್ಬೇಡ ಕಲ್ತದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತದ.
I think somebody is talking. Can you mute yourself, please?
Muted.
Okay. Thank you, Shalini. Okay, and then there are some can say more things I'm adding about can say how to keep yourself, your organization safe. Always keep security patches in all software and hardware up to date. Hire computer can say cyber security teams, internal or external. Periodical assessment, okay, are important. Ensure encryption and critical data, and keep backups. Regular employees training and awareness is the key. Ensure vendor partner who integrate with your systems are fully secured. Do their audits as well. Get third-party security audits regularly and implement improvements. Don't relax there. Setting aside a budget for the best data protection technology security. Keep your IT assets inventory updated and visible to the organization. This is just to highlight the best security, the layered security. Organization must go for this kind of security. And I don't have much time to explain it, but whenever you have any point to discuss on this, anybody can call me individually, I can explain it to him, okay? Layered security is your from gateway to your endpoint. Just to explain in a nutshell, from your gateway is your firewall, or where you are getting, say, internet data is entering or external people are entering to your systems, and the endpoint is which your laptop, desktop, and mobile, which are generating the data. So they all have the different kind of security tools. Use those extensively. So this is some kind of solutions which are available. Data loss prevention software, Forcepoint Digital Guardian, data backup, replication and recovery softwares, okay, and endpoint security, antivirus. It has to be complemented by BDS, breach data security softwares, and IDS, intrusion detection system, and intrusion prevention system, which are there in your firewall, and they can say endpoint is a breach detection system, okay, and there are some companies are mentioned there for the knowledge of everybody, and data threat protection software, for example, Akamai, they analyze your whole incoming traffic and outgoing traffic continuously, report any untoward incidents to you. And these are again a very good slide, which you can read it later, but it's a very important slide. I have can say made for you. There are 15 points, okay, and these okay, how to create a response plan for the data breach, and these all 15 points are really can say important for you all. And create a data breach plan starts with creating a data breach response plan. Departmental teams to identify, contain, recover data, which ensure IT resources are allocated to most critical data areas. Awareness and mock drills periodically. Identify which type of breach data breach has happened. It will give you a solution quickly. Isolate and secure all data possible where you can isolate, stop your network, stop your unplug your networking cables, and switch off all of your Wi-Fi equipments. Change all passwords and encryption keys. Clear malicious code from all systems. Identify the source of the breach. Alert authorities and legal counsel. 10th point is very critical. Most of the people I found that they don't report it to the appropriate authority, and that's unfortunate in India at present. But I think soon it will be. Many people report it actually. When we got in MTech, we reported to the economic offense wing. Protect digital evidence traced, and the digital evidence has to be preserved actually. Okay, Notify data owners about the data breach. This is important. Activate PR team if necessary. Fix vulnerabilities. Correct response plan based current experience for future breaches. Simple. This is following properties are there. The data protection laws are available. Appropriate data protection legal advisors. They will help you if something happens, and they will protect you. There are every country is going to have, you can say, these laws, and these laws mostly cover this purpose limitations, proportionality and minimization, lawfulness of data, fairness and transparency, accuracy of data is to be ensured, and ensured limitations should not go beyond the limit. Privacy enhanced technology should be used to keep your privacy intact. Accountability has to be there of data fiduciary or data owners. This is a slide about the legislations in across the world. 66% countries have the legislation as on today, data protection, private data or general data protection laws. 10% are with the data legislations, draft legislations. 90% no legislation at all at present. 5% countries are with no data at all. Yes, this is major laws. You all know, you are very expert people, and then most of the time you know GDPR for the European, UK has its own, but using can say GDPR as well. United States has hundreds of laws. Can't describe here to only 4 or 5, just for the sake of those do not can say may not be knowing. Brazil, Philippines, India. India at the last has proposed his bill, PDP bill 2019, and many experts are here for this. And this is one last slide. This is the last slide, Shalini. You'll be happy to see it. It's a global security index 2020, and it was created by International Telecommunication Union. The assessment of the nations was done on 5 parameters: the legal measures, technical measures, organizational measures, capacity development, and cooperation. And in this, India stands 10, and India jumped 37 points directly from 47 to 10. Okay, US is at the top, and China is at 33, and Italy being at 20, Poland being at 30, and Azerbaijan at 40. And we have some surprises. That New Zealand is at 48th number, while some surprising countries like Tanzania and Nigeria are much ahead of it. So it was this slide and this matrix was a bit surprise for me as well, and it will be for you as well. So India scored a total of 97.5 points. Okay, India secured the 4th position in Asia Pacific, and in world it's at 4th position. And India definitely is emerging as a global IT superpower gradually. That's it. Thank you. This slide would be very good for you all. Sorry, took a bit more time. Sorry, Naviji, but this topic was that it would have not been completed in a shorter time. Thank you. Thank you all for patience and giving me time.
Shalini? Okay. I think in any question, team, any question? First of all, Arya ji, great, really. Thank you very much. And before I hand it over to Suman, I just wanted to check. Team, any questions? Anybody?
I don't have a question, but I have a request, sir. Arya sir, can we have a second part 2 of the session?
Yes, definitely.
Where we can continue, where we, the last few slides where we had a crunch of time, and then we can continue from there.
Yes, and I will share this plan. I can say the presentation with Shalini, and she will distribute to everybody. And anybody specific have questions, he can call me directly anytime. Okay.
Yeah, and sir, also we can have some case study of specific
that would be great
in detail. Yeah.
Yes.
Arya sir, one question
next
here.
time we will discuss some days case studies.
Sir, one question, one more of a curiosity.
Okay.
Do you think, or rather, what do you think differently is required to be done to dissuade and drastically reduce these nation-state sponsored cyber attacks? The current framework, to whether it be international law or whatever, seems to be grossly inadequate, as certain countries are seem to have made a killing out of creating these state-sponsored. They seem to be a pattern in the states that are attacking, in the pattern to the states that are the victims, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So what different needs to be done, because it's become daily news, right? Russian-based, North Korea-based, Chinese-based hackers attacking, and mostly US being victims and all. So what different needs to be done, really?
See, if you see, I have been seeing all these virus, antivirus, and then cybersecurity solutions for since long. So I have seriously noticed that they all are reactive. They are not proactive. What they protect you is based on the past incidents or past experiences. They create their solutions, and they don't allow the next part of the similar things do not happen again. But they are not proactive. And if I say, I must admit, and everybody will admit that hackers are far ahead of somebody. Can you mute it? Can you mute this man?
An extension for privacy of another standard by the 27001.
Shalini, can you mute him? Oh, thank you. Thank you. So hackers are at least 4 steps ahead of the researchers developing the solution. So they do incident, then they respond, and they are software available which work on the 0-day basis, but still they cannot contain it. And state sponsored, definitely we are unable to control the terrorism. So this is very difficult to say. Cyber terrorism is actually, you say, if I can say it, it's a cyber
sir,
terror.
actually, my question is more from a legal point of view than from a technology point of view. Like, if these things are going to be, cyber war and these things are mentioned, so some international laws which look to severely punish consistently countries from where these cyber attacks are emanating from, like Russia, like North Korea, because at the end of the day, these are now getting into the realm of war, right? Not very for good reason. These things are called cyber wars and cyber terrorism and all. Well, physical terrorism and physical war might have its own methods of dealing with it. As a new phenomenon, some kind of some United Nations level mechanism, placing a huge penalty on those countries from where these are cyber attacks are continuously emanating from, putting pressure on them to control their domestic environment and ensuring that these threats don't emanate from there. So from a legal perspective, of course, the technology perspective might continue to evolve that way.
See, Subradiji, I think legal, any legal process is based on the evidences, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
If you have the evidence, you can initiate action. The cyber terror means they don't leave any signature on them. Okay, it may come from China. Okay, but you really do not know. They are very well coordinated attacks. Okay, somebody is sitting in Russia. Okay, the another guy is sitting in Taiwan. Another is sitting in Ghana. And someone is sitting in Nigeria. They are a gang of hundreds of hackers which are colluding and then creating those attacks. Okay, but one time attack will be from China, the next time it may come from Ghana, and another time it may come from another country, and they don't leave. They mask their identity so well that they can say even the best of the software are not able to identify actually who is the culprit, actually who has done it, who is the attacker, and from where it is coming. Okay, see, I'm using an you can say dark web to generate an attack. Okay, it cannot be traced actually. It can only be traced by the cyber experts, but it is marked so well they are not able to trace it most of the time. And there has to be some legal arrangement among the nations and countries until they cooperate and support. Okay, I'm giving you a very good example. Okay, in my last company, we had a cyber attack. Okay, somebody trying duping us, can say 1.2 million Canadian dollar. Okay, but we fortunately we were not. Okay, we saved ourselves and we reported it to the EOW wing of Delhi. And the inspector who was assigned to me said, boss, we told them that these servers are in California, US. And the second server is in China. China hacker are using server in California to do the attack. It was an indirect attack. So it is very difficult to trace them out. Actually, if they trace them out, fine, they can take action, they can raise the point, but they only can say they don't have the evidences. The evidence is the problem, biggest problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Team, any other question? Okay. Suman, are you there? May I request you to give a vote of thanks?
Yes, I'm there. Am I
Please.
audible?
Yeah, very much. Please go ahead.
Good evening to all of you. As we come close to this insightful and informative session, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to Mr. P Arya on behalf of FTPPI and from one and all present over this call. My heartfelt thanks to you, Mr. Arya, for giving us some valuable insights on data breaches. Your talk has been an eye-opener for many of us today. Some of the important points that you've mentioned today, like data breach does not happen in a day. A company the likes of Yahoo realizing that a data breach of 3 billion accounts has happened after a period of 2 years. Hackers do their research and are persistent. 280 days is an average time to identify and contain a breach. 80% of the breaches happens with customers' personal identifiable information at an average cost of $150 per record. And there is an upward trend in malicious attacks, which contributes to about 52% of data breaches. The factuals and data seem disturbing, as most of us are Facebook users, LinkedIn users, Yahoo users, etc. Seems like no organization today is safe, and businesses today are at risk and vulnerable to an increasing number of cyber attacks and data breaches. Data is a valuable and vital asset. Sharing personal information and data does bring benefit, but it is not without risks. While it is important that we do acknowledge the relevance of a technology-driven life, but it is also important for us to keep a tab and control of our personally identifiable information. Thank you again, Mr. Arya. This has been a great learning session for us. Thank you once again. Good night, everyone.
Thanks for your time on a Saturday evening.
Thanks all of you. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Navik. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Suman. Bye-bye.
Thank you.